So one for Canada, one for Mexico.
Yes, sir.
President Trump has just signed 2 executive orders officially backing down from his 25% tariffs against Canada and Mexico. But this move may not be enough to save more than 1 million Americans from increased electricity bills. I know there's so much going on with this, so much back and forth. But just a few moments ago, President Trump signed 2 executive orders putting a pause on the 25% tariffs he imposed on Tuesday of this week on goods coming into the United States from Mexico and Canada. He now says as long as those products comply with the USMCA, they will not be slapped with those tariffs. The USMCA, by the way, is the trade deal that President Trump himself negotiated with Canada and Mexico during his first term, and that's the deal that's been in place for North American trade since 2020. The White House says Trump's reciprocal tariffs will still go into effect on April 2nd, and the steel and aluminum tariffs are still on track for next week, too. So you're probably thinking, what the hell is going on? Well, here's what we know. This is now the second time President Trump has backed down from his tariff threats on Canada and Mexico. He delayed them last month as well. Coincidentally, he made last-minute deals with Canada and Mexico last month to pause the tariffs after the stock market tanked. Well, the fact is, on Monday of this week, the day before the 25% tariffs were supposed to take effect again, U.S. stock market tanked. On Tuesday, the day they took effect, stocks tanked. Yesterday, when President Trump said U.S. automakers would get an exemption from the tariffs, stocks rebounded. Today, the market ended the day down more than 400 points, almost wiping out all of yesterday's gains. At one point, the market was down much more than 400 points. While we know President Trump closely monitors the stock market, when he was asked about it today, he denied that he's delaying these tariffs because of what's happening with the market.
Basically, you have globalist companies that have been ripping us off that won't be able to rip us off any longer. I think that's what the big charge is.
Have you been influenced, some of these exemptions that have been announced and some of these temporary delays, have you been influenced in those decisions because of the market reaction?
Well, there are no delays at all. No, nothing to do with the market. I'm not even looking at the market because long term, the United States will be very strong with what's happening here.
But backing off the 25% tariffs now doesn't seem to be good enough for the Canadians. Before President Trump backed down this afternoon, the Premier of Ontario, Canada, announced starting on Monday he will charge an extra 25% for the electricity Ontario provides to several states in this country. In case you didn't know, Ontario provides power to about 1.5 million homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. That means if you live in one of those homes or have one of those businesses, your bills will be going up by at least 25% starting Monday. The Ontario Premier says he's imposing those rate hikes even if Trump backs down. Well, we'll have to see now if he changes his mind, but it sure doesn't seem like he will. Trump again today acknowledged that these tariffs are going to cost you.
But this is something that we have to do. There'll always be a little short-term interruption. I don't think it's going to be big.